There are two people who are primarily responsible for this. One is Kate, who actively, persistently supported me in running what looked to be an increasingly dangerous line. And the other was John Minetta, who's here tonight, I'm delighted to say, because it was John who came up with the legal theory of the Tampa case. I got involved in the Tampa case because John asked me to do it. I agreed to do it because I thought it was wrong to hold innocent people on the deck of a steel ship in the tropical sun. Not because I understood refugee policy or law, I didn't. Not that I understood maritime law, I didn't. But John came up with a legal theory and had the wit to put it together and asked me to take the brief pro bono. It's the best thing, the best decision I ever made, and I'm eternally grateful to do it. Involvement in these matters in the last few years is someone only one person in this room knows. She's an 11-year-old Iranian child who, with her family, was locked up in Woomera for about 15 months and who was in a state of abject despair after 15 months in detention, so much so that she was at risk of self-harm. She had stopped eating, she had stopped grooming herself, she had lost interest in life. So much so that two psychiatrists from Adelaide who came and saw the family said that she was at grave risk and the family had to be moved immediately to a metropolitan centre so she could get daily help. After 8 weeks of delay and another report, which ended with the grim words that the entire family had suffered beyond the human capacity to endure, the family was eventually reluctantly moved from Woomera to Maribyrnong in the western suburbs. There, Con Karapanagiotidis from the Asylum Seekers Resource Centre was looking after their visa application. But despite the reason for their moving being that this girl needed daily medical help, for the first 3 weeks of their stay in Maribyrnong, no one came to see that child. No clinician or psychiatrist, no social worker, no one at all paid attention to the fate of that child. And one night in May of 2002, when the mother and father and the 7-year-old sister were in the dining hut having their dinner, the 11-year-old got a bedsheet and hanged herself, alone in a cell in Maribyrnong Detention Centre. I was asked to do their case in court. I should explain that when she was only 11 and didn't know how to tie a knot properly, and so when the family came back from dinner she was still choking at the end of the sheet. When they took her down, she swallowed shampoo because she'd seen adults kill themselves that way in Woomera. And she was eventually taken to the intensive care unit of the local hospital, where 2 ACM guards were placed at the door. And when Con heard about this that night and went out there at 9:30 on a Sunday night and asked the guards if he could see the mother and the child to see if there was anything he could do to help, they said, "You cannot see them because lawyers' visiting hours are 9 to 5. And when I got the brief and I learned those facts and I spoke to Con and he confirmed what had happened, I knew it was no longer possible to step away from this issue, no matter what the cost. And that child, whose suffering I think I will never forget, that child deserves my thanks for the inspiration she gave me, and I hope that we never, ever, as a country, treat anyone else like that.